India versus South Africa, big test series starting, and let's talk all about that series here at Timeout with SportsAdda. Arun, India's overseas quest starts again after England. Back in South Africa, great chance for India to win the series.
For a lot of the teams, Akhil, India is the final frontier. But for the
Hmm.
Indian team, South Africa is absolutely the final frontier. We've won everywhere else we've played in the world. Australia,
New
England,
Zealand.
New Zealand. New
New
Zealand.
Zealand is
Our
left.
first Test series win was in New Zealand,
Yeah.
way back in the 60s. I mean, we've forgotten that, but we won everywhere else, barring South Africa, and there couldn't be a better chance than this.
Better chance for the Indian team on the field. There's also great opportunity for people who listen in and watch our show, Arun, to win some big prizes today. We've been giving prizes away for answering a question, and people have won Bradley merchandise.
It's Christmas season, Akhil. It's the time to give away goodies, and why not?
Okay, so we have a question like we always do on our show. We have a very simple question that people have to listen in and answer on our YouTube channel in the comment section. And the big prize for today, the people who answer correctly and win this prize will win a smartphone, Arun. So it's a big prize for a big series.
Festive season. Here you go. Smartphones, please.
Okay, so before we go on to our discussion, the question for today is who is India's highest scorer in test matches in South Africa? Very simple question. We've been playing a lot of test series in South Africa since 1992-93 when we toured there. So, which Indian batsman has scored the most runs in South Africa in test matches? Simple question, right, Arun?
Couldn't get simpler, Akhil. I mean, this is really us telling people this is festive season. Here are goodies coming your way.
Okay, lovely. So all people have to do is just come into our come watch the video on YouTube and answer in the comment section. And again, join us for discussions. Please leave your comments about what you think about what we're talking about India's chances in South Africa. Like we mentioned, great chance there for India to win, Arun. Uh, but let's start with South Africa first before we get on to India. They've had a good team for so many years. They were number one in test rankings for a good chunk of period. After losing such big players like Hashim Amla, AB de Villiers, Faf du Plessis, Dale Steyn, it takes a little while to reboot the team, like if I may call it that. And that's where South Africa are currently, isn't it?
And that's evolution of the team. That's evolution of the sport in the country.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on other than events on the cricket field. So you know
Hmm.
that's kind of taken its toll as well. The coal pack issue kind of hit South Africa hard when they lost a few players who decided to pursue cricket in the county circuit and elsewhere. So South African cricket right now are at crossroads, if I may say so. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, and the world cricket scene needs a strong South African cricket team to play.
Hmm.
So the
I've
sooner they're able to compete, the better for world cricket.
The when India last toured South Africa, Arun, I had traveled and watched the games there. And watching the test match at Centurion, just as a cricket fan, just lying down on the grass banks, it's a different experience. There were fans there who had turned up. There was a crowd which had turned up for the first 2 3 days of the test match. There was a cricket fever on the field. People were actually going out in the lunch break and playing on the field there. So it was a lovely experience for me to just watch and experience and watch Test cricket in whites. The contest itself was fascinating, and Virat Kohli got a fantastic 100 there. So Centurion has had some good memories of India South Africa Test matches. Sachin has got some memorable hundreds there. So important venue also, a very interesting venue. Uh, any insights onto South Africa's middle order? We know Markram and Elgar will be opening the innings for them. What about the middle order? Not many faces that we've seen too much.
Before I get to that, Akhil, I just want to give a set of numbers which are kind of disappointing. I mean, it kind of throws in a wet towel on what you said. India have had moments, really enjoyable moments, enjoyable performances at Centurion. but it's not a venue where visiting
Yeah,
teams can say, I'll walk in, I'll boss you over. I'm just
yeah.
looking through South Africa's record at Centurion, Akhil. 26 Test matches played at Centurion, right? 26. I'll repeat that number.
Hmm,
Astonishingly, they only lost two of them. Two
hmm,
out of 26, and there were only three other draws. So South Africa's record is 21 victories, two defeats, and three losses. That's
hmm.
how they've dominated the visiting team at Centurion. But it's pretty much like Gabba, Akhil. If I were to draw a parallel, Gabba in
Yeah.
Australia, visiting teams come to Centurion, they just fold. They just don't have a chance at all.
Hmm.
A lot of those series openers are played at Centurion. Hence, it takes time for teams to get accustomed to the conditions there. Pretty much similar, like I mentioned, Gabba in Australia, but it's going to be different this time. I have a gut feeling it's going to be different. A, because the Indian bowlers are absolutely top class, Akhil. While we've been raving about the Australian attack during the Ashes, this Indian attack's done its job over a period of time and across conditions. They deliver the goods in Australia, they deliver the goods in England. It started from South Africa. Remember that tour you mentioned? I think
It's
that
where
was the
Jasprit
first
Bumrah
time.
made his debut.
Correct. That was the first time Indian pacers took 60 wickets in a series, if I recall correctly, and that's where the journey started. So, A, because Indian seamers are on fire, and B, because, like you rightly pointed out, the South African middle order is a bit of a worry. Uh, like you mentioned, all the big names are gone. They've
The
got players of talent, but
Yeah,
how do they match up and how do they cope with the Indian bowling attack is the question. Like you rightly mentioned, it will be Elgar and Markram to open.
Markram. Yeah,
Yeah, and they are the established pros. You go past them. There's Keegan Peterson, there's Rassi van der Dusen, Kyle Verreyn at 3, 4, 5. So
yeah.
that's the difference between the South African team and the Indian team. That's the difference, at least on paper.
Hmm.
And then there's Quinton de Kock and the all-rounders who fairly all right. But the 3, 4, 5 is where the bulk of the difference lies, Akhil.
Hmm. Going to be interesting there because facing Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, and whether it's Siraj or Ishant is not such a easy task, and they would love the conditions in South Africa. So it's not like they can give a very quick wicket or a seaming track. They saw that with Bhuvaneshwar last time, where he got them into trouble in the first session itself with those three wickets. AB de Villiers for me was a difference in the last series, Arun. He didn't score like a big 100 or he didn't set the entire series on fire. But those important innings that he played in Cape Town in the first Test match and even in Centurion, uh, that was a difference for India not winning the series, in my opinion. But huge miss that you can't fill in those shoes very easily. Different problems for India, though. Problems of plenty, too many options. Even without Rohit Sharma not being there, too many options for them to consider. Very interesting what team meeting Virat and Rahul Dravid are going to have, isn't it?
While you have a problem of plenty, rather, I think it all comes down to two questions really. The batting
Yeah,
is kind of sorted, Akhil, at least for the first test match. I think the batting sorts itself. So it'll be KL Rahul and Mayank to open. Pujara will continue to bat at 3. Virat Kohli
absolutely.
obviously at number 4. Ajinkya Rahane at 5. I think, in fact, 6. Rishabh Pant at 6. So these 6 take care of themselves. Now, how lopsided are the conditions? Should you play Ashwin or not? That obviously is a call taken depending on the conditions there. We've made a few mistakes in the past, and there's a lot of chat. There's a lot of quotes. There's a lot of interviews happening because of starting with that
Yeah.
Ravichandran Ashwin interview to
Yes,
Cricinfo, and
yes.
then Ravi's reacted, and it's just going back and forth. But yeah, Ravichandran Ashwin selection will depend on the conditions. Then I think Bumrah's a definite. Uh, who would the
Shami is
other
a
two?
definite.
I would play Shami. I would definitely play Shami. So Shami is a definite for me. But do the Indian team see it that way? The third pacer is it Siraj or Ishan Sharma?
Hmm.
So it's really two places on offer.
And they'll have to see whether to play a Shardul Thakur or a batter at number six. So that is going to be a key one. I mean, the kind of role that Ravinder Jadeja has done for the Indian team is
Even
very
overseas.
underrated. Even overseas is very underrated. He scored runs at number six. He's given them that control by bowling those overs. There is no problem of over rate, Arun. While the England captain has to fill in, getting his over rate and making sure he doesn't miss test matches or his team doesn't lose points. It's a very important task that Jadeja does. Bowls his overs quickly, still gets you the wicket, keeps the threat on the scoring. So it's a huge void to fill in. So it will be very interesting to see if they go in with an extra batter, because that's where we also lacked in South Africa last series, if you remember.
If the decision were to come to me, I'd go in with the extra batter in Vihari. I know people are,
Hmm.
the popular opinion is swayed towards Shreyas here. Fabulous player, somebody who's done well at the start of his test career, got 100. But I'm kind of swayed towards Vihari A because he also gives you those overs, quick overs. Off spinner
Yeah,
can keep things tight. And he's been in South Africa, remember. He scored those 2, 3 half centuries with the India A team. So it's not like he's
correct.
been out of touch. So kind of looking at Vihari for that additional batter.
Additional batter. Uh, One last point before we get to that, Arun. I'm just going to remind everyone that we have a contest running here. It's a big series, and accordingly, we have a big prize coming up for people who want to participate and win this contest. I'm going to repeat the question here. The question is that which Indian batsman has scored the most test runs in South Africa? A very simple question. Big batter. I mean, he's a big batsman, probably the greatest ever that India has produced. So very simple
Oh, you
answer
gave it
there.
away. You absolutely gave it away, Akhil.
But Virat Kohli is also playing this match, Arun. He still can become one of the greatest batsmen that India is going to produce. So that's the contest. Please answer in the comment section on YouTube, and you have a chance to win a smartphone there. Uh, so please join in the contest. Yes, Arun.
I, I just want to give away another set of numbers, Akhil. I mean, I threw a wet towel over India's hopes at the start for the Centurion test, but at Johannesburg, I'm just looking through the numbers. India have never lost a kill. 5 matches, 5 test matches at Johannesburg. We won two, lost three. So we've drawn three rather. So there's hope at Joburg. It's a venue that's kind of gelled well with us. Uh,
Hmm.
Again with Cape Town, we've never won, but we've had two draws out of five. So we've done well in the past. It's just about finishing off things now. And I think this, like we started saying, great chance for India to win that first ever Test series in South Africa.
Okay. So as we before,
Also look forward to Virat Kohli 100.
I'll take 100 from anyone in the middle order currently.
Bang on. Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen that, so I'll take 100 from any of those three in the middle order.
And
Uh,
and and these are the type of conditions where these guys stand up, Akhil. Like
they
even
have stood up.
for a matter, Pujara didn't get so too many runs the last tour, but he braved himself out. Gutted it, worked it out. Similarly, some of Rahane's best performances, I shouldn't say tons, have been in South Africa.
Yeah, he got a gritty 48 in the test match that we won in Johannesburg when he made his
Joburg,
comeback then. So all three of them have got some important runs. Virat got that magnificent 100 at Centurion. It was a privilege to see that innings. I stood up and clapped, almost had tears in my eyes, watching him score 100 there. It was a beautiful knock. So fantastic memories from Centurion. Uh,
hundreds in
bef-
South Africa, you will remember, Akhil. You will always remember.
Absolutely. They've been so rare, so memorable, so very nice to see as a cricket fan. Uh, okay, so like we do with timeout predictions for the first test match, and we are on track. If you remember with our other prediction for the Ashes, we are on track
Ashes.
there 2-0, Australia leading. Predictions for this first test match, then I'm saying India will win. India will win it. What about you?
History against India, but I say India win this. India win at Centurion.
India win at Centurion. Arun and me agree on that. Please write into us. Tell us what you think. Who do you think India? Who do you think will score runs for India? Who do you think will pick the most wickets? Who should play at number six? Who should be the third seamer? lots of questions. We have our opinions. We'd love to hear what your opinions are, and of course the contest. So please join in. This is going to be a very entertaining series. We are all going to be tuned in. It's great holiday season starting for everyone. So hopefully all of us will catch the match and talk a lot about it on social media also. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back again and talk lots more about the series. Join in and lots join in and participate in our contest also. Thank you so much.